Janet,
Hey, how you doing, Laurel?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
All right. So I think what I want to do since we spoke, which was really helpful, I really want to test this out in a smarter way. So looking at the 5x3, I
Yep.
built out newer audiences that layered and look alike that make, I think, a lot more sense. And what I want to do is add more. I'm going to add more budget and I'm going to add more time. So instead of 2 weeks and $1,100, I want to do 30 days and $2,700. So sort of like longer, more money, and just kind of bring them in from an evergreen perspective. Then starting next month, because I'm going to do like a 2-day live workshop where I teach and then I upsell into my premium. So
Ooh,
then this evergreen would then be establishing that list of people that go into my private Facebook group. They take the course, but I'm also learning more from them in terms of what do you actually want help with? Okay. And so that then running separate ads starting next month to the live workshop.
okay. I love live workshops. They do amazing as far as like getting people into higher ticketed programs as well. So you had a question on how would you test and how would you
Right.
like add in new creatives and all that fun stuff. So whenever we're starting off, right, we're doing the 5x3. So you've got ad set number 1, ad set number 2, ad set number 3, ad set number 4, and ad set number 5, right?
Mhm.
Can you guys see
Yep.
that? Okay. Actually, let me spotlight my video real quick. Can I know where okay. And then you have your 3. Let me get one that's writing a little bit better. And then you have your 3 videos, right? Or
Yep.
your 3 ads,
3 ads.
I
Yep.
should say. Okay. So it's the same 3 ads across all these different
Yep.
ad sets. Now, one of the things that you're going to start to see, and so just so everyone knows, $10 a day, okay, per ad set. So what you're looking at right here is a $50 a day campaign.
Right.
You only have $10 a day to spend, just do one ad set, right? So I'm only doing the 5x3 campaign until I have at least one winner, right? Because the second that one ad starts performing, we have a winning ad set, right? Because this ad set has yielded a winner. Now, one of the things that you might see is once this ad is like getting purchases, what you're probably going to see is that Facebook decides it's going to give all of the ad set budget to that one ad, right? Because it's like, oh, this ad is performing. And so what you're going to find is these 2 ads might not get the impressions that this ad's getting because Facebook is like, oh, this is winning. So what I would do is I would duplicate ad set number 1, right? Because we got a winner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one ad here, and I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to put the second ad, and I'm going to try them separate.
Oh,
to see it,
Oh, I
if,
see.
right?
Oh, because because they can't compete in the same, they're, because, yeah, I know, I makes total sense. You can A/B
Yep,
test better that way.
exactly. And I like having control over it. And that's why I don't put more than 3 ads inside underneath like an ad set, because then if you have like it just becomes ridiculous. And so once I have a winning ad set, any new ads that I launch, I'm going to put it solo underneath that ad set, because we already have that ad set has proven to be an ad set that converts. And that's how I pick all of my winners. And then that's how I'm scaling. So once I have 5 winning ad sets and 5 winning ads, now it could be one winning ad with all of these different ad sets. I'm going to throw the winning ad sets with the winning ads underneath a new campaign, and I'm just going to throw on campaign budget optimization and let Facebook optimize it, because then we have all winners, right? I'm going to throw it in at like $100 a day and just let Facebook pick the winners out of the winners.
Okay.
So that's just how I'm doing it. So like, let's say like in ad set number 2, this one doesn't yield any, but this one and this one does. I'm letting this go and I'm still adding, remember, 20% every 24 hours. Now I'm not shutting these other 2 ads off. I don't want to touch them. It's converting, right? And so I'm adding 20% every 24 hours to my winning ad sets. And then I'm just like duplicating and then putting the ones that aren't getting the impressions. Now, if this ad is getting the same impressions, or it's gotten a lot of impressions and it's still not yielding any results, I'm not going to duplicate it and give it its own ad set. But more than likely, when Facebook starts to see winners, it typically moves the budget. But this is a good way to see if this ad set's even going to work by giving it 3 ads, right? Other than putting that same ad set with 3 different ads. This is the 5x3 is just a faster way to get data super fast. Does that make sense?
Yes. So the question in terms of the winner, so nothing is deemed a winner really until everything has to have 2,000 impressions, right? So you got to wait for that, right?
Well, as soon as, like, me personally, and this is just a personal, like, kind of like a personal thing, but like if I see this ad set and it's starting to get a winner, like it gets a winner, I'm immediately adding 20% to the budget.
Okay.
And I'm duplicating it and putting each of these ads separately. But then I'm also duplicating it and just putting the winning ad, and I'm doubling the budget on that new ad set.
When you duplicate, are you pausing, or you just, everything consistently runs?
Everything is all running.
Okay.
Because I never want to turn off anything that's working, and I never want to change anything that's working too, right? So that's why I'm not going and shutting these other ads off. I'm just like letting it go and let Facebook sort it out. But I am adding 20% to the budget every 24 hours. Okay.
And when they are not producing any sales at all, and you've gone, do you still wait to get to 2,000 impressions?
Yes.
Okay. So it gets to 2,000, there's no purchases, then I can pause that thing.
Yep. It depends, because we also have to watch our KPIs. If we've got 2,000 impressions and our click-through rates are awesome and people are going to the sales page and not buying, then we know that it might not be an ad problem, but we have to like keep that in mind. But I'm not really making those decisions unless I've got at least 200 clicks to that sales page. Because some people like to make an assumption at 100 clicks, and I'm like, because we have to remember that Facebook's going to send people to our ads, whether or not they're our ideal audience, because they're testing, right? The audiences that we put in, especially like lookalike audiences, they're sending traffic, and they're trying to optimize. They're trying to figure out who's clicking on this ad, who's moving forward down the funnel. Sometimes it takes Facebook a little while to try to find that right audience for your ad. And so that's why I always say, give it 2,000 impressions before making any decisions.
And 200 clicks to the sales page.
200. Yeah. I'm letting my sales page get 200 clicks before I'm like, ooh, let me change the language on this. This is not converting. If I go 200 clicks and I have not made a single sale, I'm like, okay, something is off. But it could very well be, it's normal to have 100 clicks and not one buyer. That's completely normal, because again, Facebook's, so there's going to be looky-loos whether or not they're your ideal audience. So.
Okay, cool. All right. So then the question I was going to ask about budget, in terms of audience size, so smaller budget, so $10 a day. So I got a variety of different, in my 5 audiences, I have 1.1 million, and then I've got another audience, 6.3 million, 4.3 million. So they range between like 1.1 and the biggest is 6.3 million. Does it matter if it's $10 a day to have a 6 million size audience, or is the $10 a day better fit for between the 1 and 2 million?
I think it's fine. Like I do $10 a day no matter what.
Okay. So. Okay, great. So that's what I was just wondering, that as the budget, as I increase my daily budget, and then should the audience size also increase along with it in maybe a new audience or something? But I guess it just depends, and that's going to vary. I don't think it's anything to really like worry about, because I run $10 ads for audiences that have like less than 100,000, and then I run $10 ads for audiences that have like 8 million in it. So all right, cool, okay, good.
Yeah.
And then
I actually like big audiences.
Yeah, well, right. I think it just gives Facebook a bigger opportunity to pull
Yeah.
from.
Now it does take longer to optimize, but Facebook does have more data points to like go and find the perfect person.
Okay. All right, cool. So, all right. So I won't even talk about the live ads for next month because I'm just going to get to focusing on these for right now and building out a customer base, a bigger customer base, and also a way to retarget these guys so that there's a bigger audience so that I can actually leverage the retargeting because my audience has been so small that I'm trying to build it so that I can use retargeting for the live ads.
Yep. Is the live going to be a paid workshop as well?
It is for people who are registering for the first time from seeing the ad. But for all those other people from Evergreen, I'm just going to email them that they should just join it. But they're already customers. I won't make them pay for that workshop.
Yep. Yeah, we had talked about that, right? Like letting them in on a lot. Yeah, I always like that strategy. Like when someone, like for instance, like if I sell like I'm planning on doing that $37 workshop that I did a while back, like how I got my first 400 buyers for my membership organically, and then I grew it to 800. Well, now we've got like 1,500. So I'm like, it's time to update that training. But what I'm going to do is whenever I do it, I'm not going to make the people who already paid for it pay for it again. They're going to get to come to the live for free. And I always like that strategy because then it builds rapport and then it gives you an opportunity to talk to those people who've bought and kind of hear like their concerns, their questions and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, I didn't even think to add that into the course, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.